As you know, the COP30 conference is currently underway on the edge of Brazil's Amazon rainforest. And it features all the exaggerations and hilarious hypocrisy you've come to expect from elites who fly their private jets to the edge of a rainforest they're pretending to protect. It's a heady cocktail of apocalyptic narcissism and Olympian self-regard. Let's start with the self-regard, as COP30 is a place where the only thing rising faster than global temperatures are global egos. Have a listen to how the UN's climate secretary is introduced at COP30. The intoxicating introduction will give you a small insight into one of the reasons Anthony Albanese and Chris Bowen are so desperate to host COP31 in Australia next year.
Distinguished delegates, friends and colleagues, it is my pleasure to invite Simon Steele, UNFCCC Executive Secretary, to address the plenary.
Simon Steele will address the planet. Come on, who wouldn't love that line on their LinkedIn profile? Yeah, I've done a few things. One time I addressed the planet. The UN Climate Secretary didn't just address the planet, though. He scolded it. He wagged his finger and warned the people of the world they would never be forgiven if they failed to do as he and his climate bedwetting friends want. Think Greta in a suit threatening eternal damnation.
To falter whilst mega droughts wreck national harvests, sending food prices soaring, makes zero sense economically or politically. To squabble while famines take hold, forcing millions to flee their homelands. This will never be forgotten as conflicts spread. While climate disasters decimate the lives of millions, when we already have the solutions, this will never, ever be forgiven.
Come on, it was really just a grown-up version of this.
Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
And then there was the Brazilian president. He was given 14 minutes to address the planet. Here's how the BBC, you know who they are, reported his speech. Quote, "Fight fake news and defeat climate deniers," Brazil's Lula tells UN Talks. The BBC editor who wrote that headline sure has a hide. Right now, the British broadcaster is to fake news what McDonald's is to fries. Anyway, here's Brazil's president.
COP30 will be the COP of truth.
When he cuts down the Amazonian rainforest to build a 4-lane highway so people can get to the fundraising climate conference, at which he's spruiking for money to save the Amazonian rainforest he's just bulldozed, well, I guess COP30 certainly is the COP of truth. Maybe just not in the way he thinks it is.
In the era of fake news and misinformation, the obscurantists reject not only the evidence by science, but also the multilateralism progress. They control algorithms, sow hatred and spread fear. They attack institutions, they attack science and universities. Now it's the moment to impose a new defeat to the denialists.
I love how these guys insist they have evidence and science on their side, but then use religiously inspired terms to argue we must defeat the denialists. My favourite part of the president's speech to COP30 was the bit where he rhapsodised about the rainforest, that lush cathedral of nature, whispering wisdom to the gathered elite as they sip their sustainable champagne.
So I hope that serenity of the forest will inspire all of us to clarify our necessary thought to see what needs to be done. A good COP30 for all. Thank you very much.
Ah, yes, the transcendent serenity of the rainforest. After that profoundly spiritual moment, the president did what all great environmental visionaries do. He returned to his lodgings on a luxury boat where his wife was filmed dancing earlier in the week. Nothing says we must save the planet like a climate emergency on the top deck next to the chilled Prosecco. Have a good COP, he says. Oh, and they will. It's the rest of us who will cop it. And just to tie the bow on the hypocrisy, according to Brazilian media, that presidential pleasure cruiser will churn through at least 4,000 litres of diesel over the course of the climate summit. Of course it will. After all, nothing fuels environmental virtue quite like fossil fuels.